I'm here today with special guests Mike Lashomb, Annie in the Water, Brett Porter, Mirth Minute, and local bartender at Peter's Pub. Thank you all for tuning in again for the second episode of the podcast. As all of you know, you can watch it here live on YouTube, Facebook. You can listen to it on Apple iTunes Podcast, and you can listen to it on Spotify. And today we have a lot of good stuff to talk about. And we're just happy to have you here, Mike, because you guys have been one of those bands who actually have been able to have the right opportunities to stay busy throughout 2021 and leading into 2022. And I gotta ask, how have you been, man? How's the new year going? What new things are you doing for yourself, even personally?
Thanks. Well, it's good to be here on Cheap Flights and Cornbread, and always good to work with you at Mirth Films and everything. So, Annie in the Water's been great, you know. We took the opportunity to just keep things going when, obviously when everything happened. You know, we all remember that in 2020. We just decided to keep on writing and keep on staying active, so we picked particular shows in 2020 and 2021, and then we just decided, 2022 seems to be the year that, booking agents and managers and venues are looking to start putting steam and blood back into the circuit, so we just stayed relevant and hungry, and we're ready to hit the ground running, so it's all been good. We've got an awesome tour coming up with Eminence Ensemble out of Colorado. And we kick things off at Buffalo Ironworks next Wednesday, the 26th of January. So, and we're doing a big run all around the Northeast. So, all good things, really. And I personally am well. I'm doing well.
I'm very happy to hear that. I am very excited for you, too, as well. There's a lot of things I want to get into you about the Winter Tour and Sun at Dawn. And but before we jump to you, Brett, I have to ask you, we just got a snowstorm here in upstate New York. How's it been on the slopes?
It was good. On Monday I went up to Whiteface, and I still have my snowboard pants on right now. It's easy to maneuver in the cold weather, and they're just comfortable. So yes, these are snow pants if you see them. But I went to Whiteface on Monday, and it was a blast. I kept stacking up throughout the day, and I think the Northeast community especially needed a good bit of snow. So. It's only good things, as much as I am passionate about music and the scene, the art scene and culture, like snowboarding is a big part of not only, our band's kind of culture, but like, me personally, like I get a lot of fulfillment out of that. It keeps my hips nice and active, so I'm not sitting in the car all the time touring, so it was awesome on Monday. I had such a good time. It totally juiced me up. If you can see this little fat lip, I don't think you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah. I was riding and I bit my lip, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna go on camera in like 2 days with a bit lip. So if I'm like looking weird when I'm talking, I apologize, but it was a great time snowboarding. So.
Well, that's incredible. Whiteface Mountain, great mountain for sure. Brett, now how have you been, man? It's been one long week since I've seen you last.
Yeah, you know how it goes, man. Just fucking not sleeping, working a lot. But I love this, man. And like everyone else watching right now, I believe in this. And I want to see the best for it, and I really enjoy being a part of all of this. And when I first pitched the idea of Mirth Minute to you,
yeah,
the idea was, because, Norm Macdonald, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
He's no longer among us. We need somebody. I don't know if I'm that somebody, but damned if I don't try. And then the rest was history, and we started having ourselves our nice little arrangement, and I somehow found myself in a camping chair, chilling for this podcast.
The same camping chair you use for the.
You are that guy.
I am that guy. I am that guy, pal.
This
Trust
is
me.
the guy.
This guy wears his heart on his
You have
sleeve.
it on camera. It is he.
It is I.
And
He's a Knicks fan, which is okay.
Yeah.
Which is okay, exactly.
It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay.
But yeah, just for a little background, Wednesdays are the days we usually go and film Mirth Minute, and we're usually here. We do this he comes at like 1:00. We do the new segment and then wrap it up and then go to Bombers, and that's like our every fucking week thing. We are good friends with the people at Bombers now. We have become regulars. We asked if we are actually considered regulars, and I guess they gave us that title now.
Dude, card carrying members, man. We're actually waiting. We're waiting on the actual cards, but we have honorary polos that are in transit as we speak.
Yes.
So if you guys see that next week, don't be surprised. It's something we like to call sponsorship.
And Mirth Minute, by the way, for those who don't know, it is our weekly news segment where we comedically cover some of the bigger headlines in entertainment, live music, and Brett is the host of Mirth Minute. It is a fun new way of creating that we've been trying, and if you like it, please let us know. If you think there's things that we need to maybe change to make it even better, then we're always open to suggestions. And before we get into our segment with Mike, there is some just house cleaning that I definitely want to do today, and that is, number one, we announced Palace Sessions. Palace Sessions featuring Thomas Ian Nicholas kicks off. It airs live on February 1st on the Palace Theater YouTube channel. It is for, the Bennett is for the AFSP, the American Suicide Prevention organization we have here in Albany, New York. Great cause. And Thomas Ian Nicholas, for those who don't know, he was in the movie American Pie. He was also the main actor in Rookie of the Year. Great guy. We got to talk to him. Very nice. His music was pretty cool. It had some awesome covers as well. And we highly suggest checking that out and supporting a good cause. And then just, I guess maybe we could just cut it down a little bit here. But I definitely want to talk about how Goose has moved up the totem pole very fast from like 2019 Peach Fest to now. Like, holy shit, like, congratulations. I mean, the opportunities they have coming for them are amazing, and seeing them like just work it in like 2016, 2017, like playing the smaller venues, week in, week out, eating shit, and then getting something out of it just shows it's possible. And I mean, I don't know how much you guys listen to the band Goose, but I gotta say they're onto something.
Oh, absolutely. The growth is pretty incredible. They got a great marketing team behind them. Their management is great. We know some of the people within their team as well, and they've been really good people and very kind to not only myself but the band. And the interesting thing is they actually opened up for Annie in the Water. That was 2017, and they just were usually like what we would have some bands open for us, and it's very few that you were like they have got something going on, like they need to be headlining this on their own. They need to have their own show here, and they came and they brought it, and that was with your old percussion player. Peter was not a part of it yet, but just to see them, I mean, it hit. They write good songs, they jam. Rick's got a good voice. They're entertaining. They all work it. Pete works it. They're all rhythm section's tight, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. But they did it. They grinded. They worked it, and I think they are a testament to other bands in the scene. I think they're an inspiration as well to be like, wow, like look at what they've accomplished from just doing it, sticking with the plan, building their marketing around it, doing the film. Their manager also is great with film editing and stuff. So
wow,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
He's an interesting character, very eclectic, but very good with film work and stuff. But yeah, it's just really cool to see in Radio City. The first Grateful Dead DVD I ever had was Radio City, 1980 Radio City with Grateful Dead, and there's just iconic performances on that. That first set acoustic. So Goose is doing first set acoustic, 2 electric sets, and it's just it was cool to see. When they announced it, I was like, there's a part of me that in my heart I'm like proud of them, but then I'm like, man, it's just like the story behind it. Not only for other things, but there seems to be a really cool connection between them and New York City, and for Radio City Music Hall to be a really good beacon, kind of pointing out. It's great for the jam scene too. It's good for the singer-songwriter scene. It's good for music,
It is 100%, and it's just crazy to see, and I mean, it's like, this is such a far comparison, but like, okay, well, I'm not even gonna go there, but like, okay,
Go there.
For example, my first like time I've ever felt like I've watched somebody grow up or watch a band grow up was seeing Twiddle blow up, and
yeah, totally.
and now seeing Goose blow up too, like at a whole nother fucking level. Like, it's cool because, you know, I Fish is one of my favorite bands, and I wish I could have grown up in that blow up period, and
Totally.
you know, to see them do what they're doing, like I kick myself for not even going to see a show. Like,
Yeah.
I'd watch probably like all their fucking videos online. Their videography is amazing, by the way.
Yep.
And their music is also amazing as well. And but I hope one day they play the Palace Theater, because that'd be freaking sick. Like, I feel like they can now do that. Like, 100%.
Oh, I think so, absolutely.
It'll just be a matter of
proved-
time when they
yeah.
announce that tour, you know, whenever, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you just saw what they did out west and what they've been able to do with, you know, numbers and draw and stuff like that being more difficult. So I don't think that's out of the wheelhouse at all. And I think Albany has a strong scene that would be comfortable for them to come through and do it. They would throw down. They always throw down. They're consistent, you know.
Yeah,
That's
they're
huge.
super
You know, they're
consistent.
pro. That's what it takes, you know. It's the jam band, and it's just a good. Everybody in the band's got a really good story about them too, you know. So you're right, the come up of it and everything. It's cool when you can see, and you're right, living in the middle of it. You know, the beginning, the birth of it, and then where it's at right now. You know, we'll always have stories about like when we first saw them or first hung out with them or first like met them on the road, and they're very talented guys, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're actually playing a show at Putnam Place in May with Elephant Proof, which is drummer. So it's like almost the original Goose, actually, if you will. So it's your side project band. So we're doing a show with them at Putnam Place in May, actually. So
That's awesome. And that was a rescheduled show, correct?
Rescheduled show, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That I was definitely looking forward to that, and that's cool, man. So is that something that you worked with these guys before, or is this something just through management you guys were able to connect together to be able to get on the show together, or?
Yeah, we worked with them before when they were in the early phases.
In the
sure,
early phases,
you know?
okay.
And then our capacity, I think with Annie in the Water, we're just trying to meet up with the right people. We're trying to make the right connections, and you know, as for currently, you know, we're working with Elephant Proof, and that's an exciting thing. So, so in that capacity, you know, yes, and then who knows, man? I mean, like that's the thing about the music scene. It's like it's like tentacles, like nerve endings or synapses. You know, if the energy of the vibe clicks, it can lead to one thing and build a whole new scene instantaneously. You know.
Yeah.
And so with Annie in the Water, I think what we're trying to accomplish is trying to accomplish essentially like, you know, very similar to what they're doing, you know.
100%, and bringing up energy, like I've definitely seen different energies throughout the Annie in the Water phases throughout the years, but the energy you guys have now is so solid. Like you're definitely, you know, all, you know, on point together. That's already a given. I don't even have to say it, but I really think the collaborative and the group efforts you guys have put on just the new, I mean, just the even the live show, like, is amazing. Like, it is exciting to see you guys make these changes over time that honestly greatly benefit the band. You know, even just from seeing when Chris and Matt jumped into the band to, you know, a year and a half into it, it's like a whole different feeling. I noticed that from when I recorded you guys doing PAL sessions to, sorry, I apologize, from like the Pirate Bay shows you guys did.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To Palace sessions. Like I tell people, like, and I don't just say it just because like I shot the video, but like I really think like that set was like a great look on what you guys are today. And I mean the new album I've also been waiting for forever. Like I gotta say, like, I love Time to Play. There's so many songs that are not on Time to Play that I'm just like, I fucking love these songs. And and that makes you want to go to the show, number one. And number two, it's great to see that great to see or even guess what is going to be on at Sun and Dawn, because I don't. You guys haven't announced a track list.
We haven't announced a track list.
That's
no.
cool.
Yes,
I like that.
We released the artwork, and the album will be coming out early March. So that's coming. That will be coming out. And yeah, essentially, obviously with everything going on, there's kind of been shifts and changes. It's just trying to do certain things in a timely manner right now in the scene is it's close to impossible. I don't think it is impossible, but there's just unforeseen circumstances that pop up from time to time. But we have been really solid. The band's been solid with it, and everybody's really brought in new styles of writing. This new album is it's different. Annie in the Water's always kind of had a rootsy feel. It's always been, the first album was like more rock. We produced it with somebody that was our first album, Destination, on Spotify. If you listen to it, it's contrast a little bit from what we're doing now, but very singer-songwriter and like rockish. Time to Play was still those rock roots, but more of a rootsy, jammy kind of reggae vibe. And this new album is just we are exploring territory that is different, but it's still the core of what our sound, but it's something that everybody in the band finally was like, let's just, during the pandemic, we had time to do it. We weren't touring all the time. We weren't booking shows. We weren't constantly rehearsing for getting on the road. Annie in the Water is always like, we've always gigged it to do whatever we need to do to make it happen.
Yeah. Yep.
And you start to realize, like, it's like, are we kind of working against ourselves right now? So when the pandemic hit, of course it was unfortunate because we were trajecting pretty well after the Haley in the Water tour, but it let us just like not have to book shows and not have to be on the road, not have to be in public eye, not have to be traveling all the time. So we just sunk into the Adirondacks, and everybody brought in just stuff. We would start with riffs, and whatever feeling or emotion we got out of it, we wrote a song. It's like really how a band I've always wanted to be in wrote. In the past, it's like I've written a full song and I've scripted it, give it to the band. We'll learn the parts, or Brad or somebody else. But this album is very, very collaborative, like us just really kind of stripping off all the things and being like, fuck it, what do you think of this bass line? What do you think of this synth? What do you think of, like, Brad would come through with some vocal ideas, and it just, everything naturally happened. Everything kind of came into this album, so I'm super proud of it. It's kind of cracked a codex for kind of a new way that we write songs. It's like it's almost like a primer. That's why we're calling it Son of Dawn, because it's kind of like the birthing effect of like where we are looking for the rest of our career to be. First album was Destination, like this idea we had in mind. The second album was Time to Play. We had a break, and we had to get back to the road, and we got the band back together, and it was Time to Play, and now it's Son of Dawn. It's like, what can we birth from this? What new things can come out of this? It's like a full day has started now. The band really feels right now, and it's just starting the beginning of the day, and the rest of our career, we wanted to kind of go and peak, and then I'll be an old man and just die from playing music. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna do. So.
That's awesome, man. I think the name is great, too. I think it's an epic name.
Thanks.
I really cannot wait to see what makes it to the album. Just from what you guys have played live that isn't on the album.
Mm-hmm.
And with playing live, we did have a comment from Greg Bell. Don't forget about the Paris show. So,
yeah.
So,
we'll get there, Greg. We'll get there, Greg.
So you said you're going on tour with Eminence Ensemble from Colorado.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So
where's the pick up, man?
So first things first is the Wednesday the 26th. We start out at Buffalo. So we're at Buffalo Ironworks there with Eminence Ensemble, and Eminence Ensemble is on tour right now. They're actually on their album release tour as well right now. So they're on their Don't Hold Your Breath tour right now. So they just came out with brand new material. Killer band out of Colorado. It's really funny because like years ago, talk about like gigging and working your ass off. Like 4 years ago, I was in Saratoga. I just met up with a friend, and I was just heading out of town. And I'm driving by Putnam Place. And I'm like, the show's on. Like, show lights are on. It's a Thursday night. No cars are in the lot. But it says show tonight, and there's like lights going everywhere. I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on at Putnam Place right now? So I walk in, free show, and Eminence Ensemble's on stage. They have their full light show going. There's no one in the crowd. I grab a drink, I go in the crowd, and it's just like absorbing this energy and music, and it's just this kind of jam. They've got good songwriting, but they're also very like, they can get transient jams, they can get gritty jams, they can get rocky, they can get metally, and yeah, so I bought all the guys in the band a shot of Jameson. I couldn't stay for long, so I bought them all a shot of Jameson.
Classic.
And had to hit it. Yeah, but they played this one song of theirs called "Haste Your Sex," and it's just like my favorite Eminence song, and they just were ripping it. So that was my first experience with Eminence Ensemble, and then fast forward to literally like a month and a half ago, we were like really planning out our whole year, and then boom, we get hit up by management, Eminence Ensemble being like, we want to do Northeast tour, like, are you guys available for the run? And we were like, yes, we are. And so we start off with next Wednesday with Eminence Ensemble in Buffalo, and then next Thursday, which is the 27th of January, I believe. Yeah. 27th of January, we are playing at Parish Public House in Albany, New York, right here in the Capital Region.
Hell yeah!
I'm a dweller here in Albany, New York, so this is technically a hometown show for me, which I'm excited about. And yeah, that's going to be a killer show. We got a lot of friends that are coming out for that, and that's going to, I mean, Eminence Ensemble and us in the Parish Public House. First of all, I'm like scratching my head how we're going to fit it, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be, you're going to get a good show for the buck.
Oh shoot!
Oh, coffee
no,
down.
Not
See,
the coffee.
Exciting. That exciting, folks. It's going to be just fucking shit up.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's totally all right. So we do, that Thursday night, we're at Parish Public House, Greg Bell production, Guthrie Bell production.
Guthrie Bell, yeah.
Yeah, that guy, I mean, you can tell you what, you can't get him down. And so then you got Friday, we head out to Boston. We're playing at Sonia, Middle East, with Eminence Ensemble. So we're Boston that Friday, and then on Saturday, the 29th, we're going to be in Burlington, Vermont at Nectar's. So this Saturday, or the next Saturday, we're at Nectar's, and then we finish out that small bit of the run with Eminence Ensemble, or we finish out that 1 week of the run at Portland House of Music.
That's so cool, Maine. You guys are.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to Duck Fat if you're in Portland.
Yeah.
Fucking Duck Fat.
Yeah, go to Duck Fat.
Oh, what is Duck Fat about?
Okay,
please
so
me.
Please. Oh man, I can't indulge enough. All right, so imagine you're 19 years old and you can get into a place that doesn't card you, and that place just feeds you fucking tequila. But aside from all
Bombers?
Okay, no. That might also be bomb. No. But so Duck Fat is exactly what it sounds like. That's the entire gimmick. Everything is cooked in duck fat. I literally got the simultaneously healthiest and unhealthiest thing on the menu. Have you ever had duck?
Yes.
Yeah, very greasy in and of itself.
Very greasy, yeah.
So now imagine you get a very nice green salad with cooked duck.
Nice.
And then after you have your salad and you feel like you've done your part for the day and you've done your healthy thing for the week, you then get some fucking fries cooked in duck fat.
Ooh.
I don't know the last...
I will say, my biggest recommendation if you go to Duck Fat is get the poutine. Because the poutine is cooked in duck fat. You got to get the duck confit on it.
So you got the salad with the duck on it, and then the fries and the duck fat.
You need to indulge both sides.
Yeah, so
I will, just so I can tell you that.
Scratch the fries, get the poutine. I'm telling you, it is... I really am not kidding when I say this. Mm-hmm. I have driven back and forth from Albany on the same day just to go to Duck Fat.
Really? So ladies and gentlemen, when Andy in the Water is at Portland House of Music next Sunday, go to Duck Fat, get all the oil in your body, and then dance it off at the Andy in the Water M&M's Sunshine Show.
And top it off with a nice salad
Portland's
from
a great
Duck
city,
Fat.
Man.
Honestly.
Greens with the duck fat.
Get your greens in, or whatever herbal greens that might be too. That's a real.
It is a legal city.
I'm pretty sure they also have that soaked in duck fat.
You probably
could.
Probably. Well, I'll tell the band. I'll let them know.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with the place. Portland is become one of my most favorite cities in the whole United States, other than San Francisco, because it's just such a cool shore town. Very laid back. Every restaurant you walk into is amazing. State Theater's there, great venue. Portland House of Music, great venue. Everybody there in the town is pretty cool.
Yep.
Like just from like going there a few times now, like that is so cool. You guys are like ending your tour there, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not technically. No. That's halfway through the tour. Then we have. Then after that, we actually go into the 4th of February. We are starting off and headlining at the Waterhole.
Yes.
Yep.
For
We're
the Winter Carnival.
Yeah, with Chestnut Grove actually.
That's
and
so
they
cool.
wail. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So that won't be with Eminence Ensemble, it'll be with Chestnut Grove. But then we end the run officially with Eminence Ensemble on the 6th of February at the Mercury Lounge in New York City. So that will be our end of the run with Eminence Ensemble. And then we have a date, or then we go and we head over to Syracuse. We head over to Funk and Waffles. And then after that, we're doing Froggy Days at the at a resort down in the Adirondacks in Kerhonkson. So it's called Froggy Days. It's a masquerade ball festival, and it's like a hotel festival and everything. So you would actually remember when we played at the Summit. That was the last time we did a hotel festival.
Summit 2019, man.
And this guy was security right here.
Somehow, some way, I convinced the great Matteo Vizganian that I was truly certified to handle shitheads. Luckily, none of them showed up.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing Andrew in the water, and I was fucking blown away. I got there just in time. I have a track record for every summit I've worked as security. I've kicked out exactly one person.
Yep.
Which for an entire weekend show, I think is pretty damn impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
Very, very, just to put into perspective how relaxed and well-behaved and really, I guess you could say, for the cause, the crowd is. But I kick somebody out and then immediately book it back in because I'm like, I have to tell Mateo. I felt like I was fucking tattling to my first grade teacher. But I was blown away because Danny in the Water was playing their rendition of Bulls on Parade.
Yes.
And that...
You guys have a killer Bulls on Parade, gotta say.
We pride ourselves off...
Brad does a fucking great job.
He does a great job. I mean, Fanny in the Water is just really crushing it.
Dude, Brandon fucking kills it.
Brandon in the Water is just always crushing it. Yeah, you snuck that in great. That was impressive.
Thank you.
The summit was up in Queensbury, and that's kind of like the vibe. It's funny because of that show, we're playing this Froggy Day Festival in Kerhonkson, New York, which is actually near Art Farm Studio, where we tracked most of our album, Sun at Dawn. So it'll be a really cool way for us to kind of get back there and kind of round out the winter leg. So it's just the winter leg of the tour. So that's the summit was fun because we did an acoustic set. So actually connecting all the dots is with the band. I always wanted this groovy kind of acoustic set, like a rootsy jammy one, because I love that 1980 Radio City Grateful Dead one so much.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm threading them all today. We're making a big synapses right now of the Mirth Films podcast. So what happened was I always wanted to kind of have that vibe, and Summit gave us the opportunity to do in the small restaurant.
Fenimores.
Yeah. We did an acoustic set.
Which was badass.
Dude, it was. People were just like really in it. Let's just say they were really excited and peaking in their own right. And they all funneled into that place. And it's like a cocktail kind of like...
Yeah, it's a cocktail
tavern.
bar,
Yeah.
for sure.
And it was not a cocktail bar at that moment. It was a full-on, like, heady festival. And they just, like, loaded up the room, and it was just this awesome acoustic set. And the funny thing is like, we made so many fans because of that acoustic set. And that advocated for us to get down to Kerhonkson, down to, like, Woodstock and stuff now. So it's like... And so it's like funny because I'm doing this podcast today with that because Goose just announced the Radio City acoustic and electric set, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we finish out our run based off of literally that acoustic set from the Summit Festival that you saw Brandon in the Water at.
It all comes full circle. We all saw Daniel in the Water, and from there we just knew that these guys were destined for greatness. And I would like to say, it's unfortunate, obviously, between all the things going on in the world kind of fucking sucks right now, but it wasn't feasible for there to be a Summit 2021. And the one takeaway from my 2 summits as being the head of security somehow is I got to meet one of the wildest fucking musicians in my life. And that is a fucking LA Laker fan by the name of Andrew Frasco. That motherfucker.
Dude, he's wild.
I wanted to, if we accomplish nothing else today, Frank, I want to make sure I plug him. I've been on an Andy Frasco kick for...
And he's recently released a new album as well.
Yeah,
right?
dude. New album, a semi-new single, Spill the Beans. And Dancing Around My Grave's a classic. I could name every track and I'll be like, yeah, it's fucking classic.
See, I will say I loved him so much, and I still do, and I didn't ever think I'd be one to ever like his dance parties. Yeah. But I would find myself like on like a whatever middle of the week night during the pandemic, like just having so much fun seeing other people just being so goofy and like out of their own even comfort zone on his like live stream, and it was hilarious. And
yeah,
he knows how to make people have a good time, and that's what I like about him the most. He is today's blues brother. That guy should be. Yeah. That guy should be a fucking celebrity, just like any other celebrity on Saturday Night Live or anything. That guy is true talent.
I think the scene. I think we're gonna start seeing changes like that. I personally think people are gonna start waking up to kind of this thing that, because he's in the jam band scene, but he's really kind of his own thing, and he is inspiring. He's inspiring on and off the stage. Really, a couple guys in the band were able to hang out with him after his set at the Summit too, and he's going to be as real with you on the stage and off the stage. He's going to be as real with you whether it comes to business or whether it comes to friendship. He's an honest person, and I think in our day and age right now where there's a lot of sensitivities, obviously, you know, there's things going on, and I respect where people are at in their own body and in their own self and at their own point in time emotionally and stuff, but he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, and he shows that, and he's not an act. Like, when he gets off stage and you hang out with him, he's gonna be as genuine as he was right on stage, and take it or leave it, but that's Andy Frasco, and I think that's incredibly inspiring, as, you know, a musician that's really also puts himself out there as much as I can, like, emotionally. He does that with himself and every bit of it, and he shares that, and he's built a community around that. He's built support around that. He's built, you know, not only fans, but people that you can tell they go to his shows for a very big release, you know, and I think that music is very medicinal, and he does it in a way that is not only, you know, medicinal, but like really fun, really hilarious, and yeah, I couldn't speak more highly about the guy for sure.
Yeah, and you brought up a great point, how he's not even, and whatever, titles, screw him.
Yeah,
but he really isn't like your definition of a jam band. Mm-hmm. He isn't. He's a rock star. Yeah. But that goes to show, and I've said this time and time again, I truly believe that the jam band scene is the next form of rock and roll. Why is it the next form of rock and roll? Because a lot of bands get hodgepodged into a category where they don't necessarily fit the right standards of that category. And I believe that because when I listen to, like, you guys change my mind, I've probably said it to myself like a million times. Why isn't the song on the radio? Why isn't the song on the radio? Come on, let's dance. Fucking, I could compare that shit to Bruno Mars. Like, I really mean that. Because, like, it is a anthem about having fun, and it brings good summer vibes. Like, dude, like, you guys have, like...
Thanks, man.
Like, a side note, you guys have a well-rounded catalog.
Thanks.
You could play, like, 3 separate shows, like, over the course of a weekend, and not play the same shit. I'd be satisfied every single day.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
But I don't know. Goose, I don't even necessarily like look at them like I look at Fish, or like I look at Twiddle or Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, whoever the hell you want to compare them to.
Totally.
I look at them like I listen to his voice. I was like, what's that guy's name from Maroon 5? Adam Levine.
Oh, Adam Levine.
I was like, damn, this guy has like a great voice like Adam Levine. But, like, at the same time, they can play a song like Earthling or Alien or, like, Mood of On and, like, I don't know, like, bring out that southern vibe, too, like, in the guitar tones from Rick. And, like,
oh, yeah, great,
you know, there's another band that to me, that separates the difference between your your 20-minute jammer, or having like a purpose within a jam, in memory of Elizabeth Reed, where
Yep.
like every fucking
Yep.
note in that song is purposeful because of Dwayne Allman. And
Yes.
like, I just see that the artists that are shaping what today's jam scene is, different from the mid 2000s and below, like, as people who have listened to a lot more music than them in the past and are taking other influences and taking bigger risks. Big risk taker was special. I think, dude, like, you could say they're like Primus, but at the same time, you could be like, damn, these guys could play an electronic festival. Like,
I mean, they're 3 performers too.
yeah, they're
And,
performers for sure.
And they're super talented. Their lead guitarist too, great dude. He's got his own like music school that he does for like the local community.
No
And,
way.
Yeah, Jonathan's a good cookie.
No
dude.
way.
Real good
Okay.
cookie for sure. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like his setup too is really interesting. I like his pedal setup. To make that to be syncopated on that level as 3 performers. He's looping as he goes to add layers. The bass and the drums are just so on it. And it's just they're doing something so completely original and different that and it's heavy. It's heavy, but it's proggish. But they can also do things that are like kind of like emotionally like kind of like palpable. As the special is, and they're their own thing. They're like this like. I don't even know, like, their scene of, like, fans are really cool, too. They're all, like, super nice, but they're kind of, like, I don't know, like, night dweller, like, kind of, like, little, like, gnomes or something, like, they're the nicest people ever, but they're just, like, once they get in it, like, they're just, like, like, the movie, Nightmare Before Christmas? Like, their fans remind me of, like, all the people in the village, because they're all, like monsters or like spirits, but they're all just like, hey, how's it going? It's I don't know. That's like it's like a Tim Burton kind of vibe I get with them, but that's the thing. It's all in good fun. It's all in good faith, and they're just special fucking awesome. They shred. They definitely rip.
So I mean, we'll see. Like the music scene changes all the time, and I personally look at apps like TikTok almost as a good thing too, because you're kind of, I don't know, bending what normality is when it comes to music, how you're playing music, and how you're trying to fit different durations of time, let's just say. And it'll just be interesting to see what happens over the next few years, because like I said, I like seeing these other bands on the come up now, like you guys, like Eggy, like there's a handful of them out there, and I'm only just naming some in the Northeast, but it just will be really interesting to see, because like I said, not like growing up now and seeing like things change, people change, bands grow, like it's really cool, and it feels like you were part of it too, It's nice.
Yeah, and I think, also with Mirth Films, you being so, passionate to document it is a big thing too. There's really iconic performances not only in the capital region, but other places you've gone and you've seen it. So it's cool when you're not only like involved in like large production things. Fish comes to town, like you take pictures for them and stuff like that. But for you to see and be kind of like eagle-eyed view to be able to see all the inner workings of it too is a really, really cool thing, and you've stuck with it. And I think the media side of it, you're right. The media side of how things are promoted and marketed, but also how shows are done. I think there's you look at what Goose is doing at Radio City. It's a very unique book. It's a unique bill, and I think that's what people are. I really personally think that's the most important part about live music. Like, don't get me wrong, like, there's going to be different changes in technology and metaverse and all that other stuff, but the experience of being with a person at a show, seeing a band, feeling the subunit, feeling the energy around you, seeing the type of people that like the show, it's something that is, you can't describe that for anything,
Well, that's the thing, man. It's about being a fan first, and that's it. And because I'm sure you've experienced it, I've definitely experienced it. being burnt out sucks, and
Yeah.
making it and looking at things like it's a chore is not a good thing.
Yeah.
But when you get past that, and it's just, I go to the show because I'm gonna see my friends and I'm gonna have a good time because the music's gonna be on point, and that's something you're gonna get every fucking night when it comes to a jam band, because it's about the music. It's about learning the harmonies, and it's not easy to play Help on the Way Slipknot, but you know what?
Sure.
Fuck. I appreciate watching that. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the community, and that's part of the community, and the community is a really important thing. So,
And you guys have a community. You guys have a good group of fans.
I love our fans. I feel like maybe every band says it, that they have the best fans, and I can understand why for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? But I do think that they have like some of the best fans, or that we have got good fans. We've got a healthy community. They're nice people. And that's really important. It's just people are kind. And I look at our fans every time we go, and I'm like, you know what? This is so it's cool. I don't know. It surprised me every time I see them. Really.
Yeah, and pockets of fans in different areas. Like, we've had this discussion before. Like, your Woods Fest performance compared to your Lake George performance, at 80K Fest compared to Lark Hall. Like, there was different people I've seen in each one of those rooms singing your songs. That's cool, man. Like,
Thanks,
that's super cool.
Yeah, there's growth to it, and it's exciting to just see how they all interact, really. It's going to be cool to get on a tour, because there's energy that builds up on a tour.
I want to say, I'm very happy you guys are going to be playing out, consistently live now.
Thank you.
That's all, I wish I could ever ask for. And it's only going to benefit you guys playing as many shows as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Lean into the summer. It's going to be a big summer for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you have any goals that you would like to reach, or just...
There's a lot of goals, for sure.
Are there things that you don't even have to say? Are there things that you feel really good about that are going to be exciting for you guys in the band?
Yeah. I think internally there's a sense of our songwriting and our organization as a band that I'm really excited about. From the level of being confident in your business, being confident in what you're working together as. There's a huge amount of excitement and pride, I guess you could say, within our unit. So, that's kind of the starting point. Is everything kind of sets up after you have that? The internal stuff. Once that's good, you're able to kind of grow possibly exponentially. And I think with us, what I'm excited. There's kind of a yearly goal that we have, but there's a 3-year, there's the 5-year, and there's the get it good and get it up and play until I'm old as dirt. But for the next year, I think the new album, coming out with new songs and just getting as much content to people as possible and traveling to wherever we can, is exciting. We're excited to get out to Colorado. We're working with the new booking agent right now, so there are going to be some interesting shows being booked in the future we're excited about. So this next year, still, it's kind of like a knock on wood scenario. It's still, I don't want to say too much because there's still a lot of different things that are just, the dust is still only just kind of settling. There's still a lot of unknowns in the music scene right now, but like I said, knowing that the internal communication and connection that we have as a band, with writing, with being friends, with taking care of each other, that's the numero uno, So from where that grows, is more bigger community. Like our families will get together, we'll grow our own families together, and so we're at that's why we got Son of Dawn. Where it goes from here, it's only up at least. So I don't want to put too many visions out there because things can happen very quickly, but we got some ideas of what we want. We got some ideas.
So I'm excited to see him flourish, man.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
And thank you so much for coming tonight.
Absolutely.
I definitely want to chill at a time where I'm not doing this and you're not playing guitar.
Yeah, totally.
And we can just go skate.
Yeah.
You're here in Albany now.
Bombers.
I'm in Albany. Bombers hang.
Just Bombers, dude.
Come for a Bombers hang. Or
Possibly sponsored by Bombers. This podcast.
Eventually.
We're trying.
Ideally.
We told the bartenders.
They have a really good. They have what's that margarita again?
The Jimbo.
The Jimbo.
They got this thing called the Jimbo. It's really, really nice, and it's located right next to Lark Hall. So if you want to get a drink right before you go to a show at Lark Hall on Lark Street, go check it out. Go to Bombers. Bombers, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, best
Bombers.
of luck finding a place on Lark Street that will give you a fucking $3 shot of tequila. That's my sales pitch. It's honest to goodness. Find a spot other than Bombers that'll sell you a $3 shot of Espos. Good fucking luck, dude.
Now,
Get weird.
Now, before we wrap it up here, we're gonna see just what people have said in the chat, and just talk about what we've been watching and listening. And so yeah, Greg Bell, don't forget January 27th, make the show, Parish Public House. There's parking lot. Don't even worry about it if parking's an issue.
Facts.
Ideally.
All right, and okay, what else we got here? Wayne Bretsky, Kyle
Wayne.
Barnes.
Yo, Kyle Barnes. Kyle Barnes is a regular of mine. He's my favorite native.
Native at Peter's Pub?
No, as in part of the Akwesasne Reservation.
Nice.
Kyle, I'm going to try and not culturally appropriate here, but Segon. Hope you're still listening, buddy.
Props to Kyle.
So, I'm sorry, not to interrupt
go
you,
on,
Frankie.
man. No.
So I have a story. Before I started bartending at Peter's, I was a frequenter because cheap drinks and pool tables are two very tempting things to somebody who is what some call an alcoholic. So I see Kyle, and I had shot pool with Kyle. We were very cordial, just knew each other from the bar setting. And he says, Brett, we are about to go smoke. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do it. And he has what appears to be, so imagine like King Kong's thumb from any cinematic version of King Kong.
Yes.
And now imagine somebody who has what are called baby lungs, such as perhaps myself.
Oh.
And you take one rip off of a joint and you're dying a slow death in the fucking Peter's Pub parking lot. And Kyle, just man of stone, says, oh, Brett, normally I roll a baseball bat. It's like, no, dude.
And somehow that was your resume.
And that was my resume
That
to
was your
somehow be
resume.
qualified to get a bartending position and to get a podcasting position.
And
the-
you're an
You
anchor.
saw it here, folks.
You saw it here first. We're the brain trust.
Greg Bell, again, yes, January 22nd. Humphreys McGee at the Palace Theater. I am very excited. I've never seen them live. I've
Never seen Humphreys live?
I've never seen Humphreys live.
Oh, wow.
And but I'm even more excited for the Death Kings following the show right at Empire Underground, literally like almost right across the street from the Palace Theater. It's Mike Karuba formerly from Turquoise, Mike Ganser from Aqueous, and Ryan Stasik from Humphreys. And looks like our battery died.
Oh, no. Not like
so
this.
I'm going to be talking to you like this. And it's going to be an awesome show. Death Kings, they made their debut at Summer Camp 2021. They are kind of like a heavy metal act almost, but they also do like CKY, like punk music. Like Mike Ganser is hugely influenced on that shit. Plays a lot of Tony Hawk, and he's a skateboarder. So I'm super hyped to connect with him. And can't say anything yet, but just stay tuned following the performance. That's all I'm going to say. And lastly, David Miner, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning into the chat. We're going to have to do some one-liners here since my battery died in my main camera here.
Perfect.
Mike, what is your message to the world here?
Oh, right there.
That's your camera.
One of them is.
Message to the world. I guess I would say just be yourself and be yourself in the best capacity possible, I guess. Yeah, that's a tough one. You put me right on the spot there. Be authentic.
Wait, before we call it a night and we all go back to our respective homes, do we have time for a question from Mirth Minute superfan Davey?
We do. Once we finish the message to the world, what is your message to the
Yeah,
world?
what's your message to the world, bro?
My message to the world? Oh, Jesus Christ. The world's a dark place right now. I don't know what else to say. I'm not like this nihilist all the time. I believe in the faith of humanity, and I think good things tend to be on the horizon. Find the things that make you feel whole, and find the things that give you meaning, whatever that may be. Something as mundane as making your fucking bed in the morning. Something as complex as I'm gonna help my community. It's something along the way. Find the things that make you happy. Find the people that make you whole. Find someone who doesn't mind if they have to be the big spoon tonight. Find the person. Find the meaning. Find it, and don't stop until you're fucking done. And if you don't think you found it, keep fucking looking.
All right.
Quote. End quote, ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the credits.
Okay, mine is also on the wall right there, but it is a quote that I live by every day. It always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. It really is true. It always does seem impossible until it's done.